If you want to buy a new graphics card and you are working on a tight budget, this video is going to be for you. I will show you the best budget graphics cards for every resolution, so 1080p, 1440p, and 4K. And I will also explain what these graphics cards are capable of running on each resolution. That way you are able to understand the estimated performance that you are going to get on your system. You will have the links to all of these GPUs down below in the video description. That being said, let's start. With the first GPUs, we have the 1080p resolution budget graphics cards. The first one being the RX 6600. This one is going for $200 after a promo code on Newegg. So really good price for this GPU, and you can expect a 1080p 60 plus FPS on average experience on high to ultra settings, and even more than that depending on the game that you're playing. If you want to run esports titles, those are more CPU demanding, so the CPU is going to matter, but usually with the RX 6600 you're going to be able to get 144 plus FPS on average in games like Fortnite, Valorant, and CSGO, once again depending on the settings. So you can easily buy a 144Hz 1080p monitor or even a 165Hz one. But then you have another option, which is the Intel Arc A750. This one is going for $215, so only a $15 difference, and you're going to get about a 10% faster gaming performance, which in my opinion is worth it considering the price difference is not huge, and also considering that you get AV1 encoding in the Intel GPU, meaning that your streams are going to look amazing on a 15 game average at 1080p on high to ultra settings. And remember, we are talking about high demanding titles as well. The RX 6600 was able to average 71 FPS, and the Intel Arc A750 was not tested here, but you can expect it to be around 75 to 80 FPS on average on that same test. Really good performance for budget GPUs. Then if you plan on playing at 1440p, the best budget GPUs are the RX 6700 and 6700 XT. The RX 6700 is going for around $270 and will allow you to play at 1440p 60 plus FPS on average on high to ultra settings. You also get 10 gigs of VRAM, which is going to be enough for most titles at 1080p, even on the highest settings. However, the RX 6700 XT offers about 15% faster gaming performance and 2 extra gigs of VRAM, which is going to be helpful for the most high demanding titles at 1440p on the highest settings. This one is more expensive though, at $320. In my opinion, once again, worth the price difference because of the performance difference, especially if you're going to play at 1440p. If you're going to play at 1080p, even the 6700 is going to be more than enough, but if you plan on playing at 1440p, the 6700 XT is going to make a difference. But if you don't want to spend anything more than $300, then fair enough, you can go with the 6700, which is still going to perform great at 1440p 60 plus FPS on average. And then with the 4K budget GPUs, which by the way, I want to clarify, there's no such a thing as a cheap GPU for 4K resolution, but these ones are, in my opinion, the cheapest ones that I would go with if I was building a PC for 4K resolution. The first one being the RX 6800. This one has 16 gigs of VRAM, which is what we're looking for when talking about 4K resolution, and it's going for $430. The strong point here is the power consumption. This GPU is really power efficient, so you can save up money on the electricity bill basically, and that's always a plus. With the RX 6800, you can expect around 60 plus FPS on average at 4K resolution, depending on the game and depending on the settings. And then if you have a bit of extra money to spend, you can go with the RX 6800 XT or the RX 7800 XT. Now, the RX 7800 XT is not in stock anywhere basically, and the cheapest price that you can get for that GPU is about $550 to $570, which makes the RX 6800 XT for $500 the better value. If you're new to PCs, the 7800 XT basically is going to offer slightly better performance, but it's also more power efficient, offer AV1 encoding as well for your streamings. But at that price point, I would actually go with the RX 6800 XT if you do not want to wait. If you can wait, then just wait for the RX 7800 XT to come down to $500 again. But at that price point, even the RTX 4070 looks like the better option rather than the 7800 XT. However, the RTX 4070 is not going to compete here in my opinion, because we are talking about GPUs for 4K resolution, and the 4070 comes with 12 gigs of VRAM, which is going to be fine for most titles, but some games out there are using more than 12 gigs of VRAM for 4K, and in the future having 16 gigs of VRAM is going to help you out. I don't think that factor should be overlooked. So 4K resolution is a bit tricky right now, especially if you do not want to spend a ton of money on a GPU, like if you were to get the RTX 4080, 4090 or RX 7900 XT. These options are really nice, the 6800, 6800 XT and 7800 XT. But if I were you and you have around $500, I would actually wait for prices to come down a little bit. And also the estimated performance for each GPU is really going to depend on the system overall as well, because if you have the greatest GPU on this video, the RX 7800 XT, but then you have a CPU like the i3-12100F or Ryzen 5 5500, then it's going to be bottlenecked, and trust me, having a bottleneck is going to make your experience much worse and it's going to be a headache. For that reason, I highly recommend you watching my video about the best PC builds for every budget in the top right of the screen. There you have PCs with no bottlenecks that are going to be amazing for gaming for each price and each resolution. Also, if you got to this point of the video, comment down below what's your favorite GPU and why. I'm interested to see the graphics cards that you guys pick. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next one.